this is going to be the first meeting that we've made as an organization. So in light of that, I will just say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you guys had a very good festive period, and everybody staying safe and the family, and good to see some people today. And if you can just try as much as you can, if where you are is safe enough, you can actually put your camera on. So it will be nice to see the faces after so many, after a long time. Today we're gonna have, today is the beginning of our bi-weekly workshop, and it's good to start on a topic like this, which is goal setting, and we're also going to have a town hall meeting where we are going to discuss things and the way forward for delivering this workshop for our members. So without much ado, I will just leave it to Connie to introduce the guest speaker for today and any other thing that she might have in mind to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Morris, and good morning to everyone once again, and welcome. Happy New Year. And it's a rare privilege to have Lois Oni in our midst. Lois is a trained lawyer, and she went to law school and called to bar. For most of her career has been in shipping. So Lois is well grounded, and I think this place is home for Lois. Lois had worked in agency, voyage management, charter administration, marine crafts, contracts, and the like. So she's really, really well grounded. And there's no better person, if you look out there, to talk to us this morning than one of our own. We count her as one of our own because she's really been in our industry. So in addition, Lois is a life coach. So it's for the fact that she's a life coach, that's why she's here with us this morning to talk about goal setting for the year. You know, sometimes it takes somebody talking to you to have that nudge or that push to really go for the goals you want to achieve. Sometimes it's not easy to push yourself extra, but it takes a bit of encouragement also from an outside source. And as for us in Ahmadu here, it's a year that is going to be well packed. We have a lot planned, but again, we need to set our goals. We need to work towards them. And by the end of the year, we look back and ask ourselves if we have achieved our goals or what can we do better. But it's better if at the beginning of the year also we get that kick at the beginning, which will help us achieve most of what we have planned for the year. So Lois, welcome home, and thank you very much for being in our midst.
Thank you very much, Connie. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that great introduction. I really appreciate it. And I'm super pumped to be here. So good morning to everyone. Let me follow the line of the earlier speaker and wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all keeping safe with your families and looking forward to conquering the year 2021. A small joke, I remember just before New Year's, I saw, maybe some of you might have seen it, was on social media. There was this joke that imagine that the name of next year is that 2021, like one, W-O-N. And if you think of 2020 is definitely not the year you want to win. So this year is a year that we are going to win. 2020 is not winning. But I wish each and every one of you the best. Let me also appreciate you for the invitation to speak with you guys. I honestly am very honored on the topic of goal setting. When I saw the outline and I saw that the meetings are bi-weekly, I mean, I was really impressed because I presume you guys have been doing this for a long time. And what that says is you already have a unity of purpose together. It also talks about the knowledge of what you intend to achieve. So thank you again. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. And thank you, Connie. Now, it's a virtual event by necessity, but I'd ask that you please keep a pen and paper beside you, or a notebook, preferably a notebook. I'd like you to take a few notes, and at some point, I'd like us to actually just try something in the goal setting exercise. I'm not going to introduce myself again. Connie has introduced me largely, but I think it's very clear why I have an affinity for maritime personnel, and now, particularly now that I'm into personnel development. So let me just start by saying, before I came here, some of you may wonder why there isn't a presentation on screen. And I was telling Connie that I was working a presentation, for this session. But then I just thought about this group and I was like, okay, you're speaking to professionals who have sailed, they've literally sailed the world. They have lots of life experiences. They're a diverse team, including women. And the men who have boldly set their life's work outside the normal comfort zone, and probably did so at a very early stage. So goal setting is something these guys know about. And most of you would also have heard of SMART goals. That's the biggest theme about goal setting. And it's true, your goals should be SMART. So, but that's the technicality of it. And I didn't want us to talk about the technicalities because I just feel like the technicalities we know. So let's take another angle. I want to share with you what I wish most people also know about how setting your goals, or how you set your goals, what goals you set can impact the success you achieve. Okay, so we're going to take away keys, and please feel free to leave comments or questions. I'll try and keep this talk within the allotted time, and if you need to reach me, my contact details will be made available. So let's start. A very easy definition that is popular, right? What is a goal? A goal, anyone can type it in. We can take a look at some things in the comment box or in the chat. But essentially, you're talking about an outcome that a person plans and commits to achieve. So your goal has three major elements. It has an outcome, it has to have a plan, and it has to have your commitment so that you can achieve it. And goal setting simply is developing that action plan. So, you have a plan, you have an outcome, you're looking to a plan and a commitment. Then you also need to have an action plan that is designed to motivate you to achieve your goal. If you're writing this down, please underline the word motivate, because I think that's the link that a lot of the time we don't focus on when we're setting goals. And these are key elements of achieving success in your goal. I'm going to talk a little bit about the power of goals. We talk about goals all the time. We might talk about it as a resolution, a New Year's resolution, an intention and all that. But we're talking about goals. Remember, we're going to an outcome. And goals actually have a very deep power that a lot of the time, maybe we need to actually recognize. Because when you set a goal, what you're doing is you are defining a future. The outcome that you are looking to is actually a future that you are defining. It makes your goal powerful, but it makes you powerful. It makes you a creator. Because imagine that you achieve that goal. It means you achieve a success, you achieve a future that you yourself created. And that future is based on what you desire. So you can essentially create, change, mold destiny, yours, with your goals. So it's important to recognize the power of goals, that when you're setting goals, it's not about a target, like banks give us targets, like we get targets in the employment place. It's not about a target. It's about the destiny that the future that you are creating. The next element that I'd like us to recognize is that it's also important to have a motivation behind your goals, behind that future that you're working to create. Why? Remember, in the definition of goal setting, it's the plan that is going to motivate you to achieve that goal. Now, if that motivation is not there, achieving that goal is going to be a little bit difficult. If I set as a goal, for instance, I want to pay all my bills by Q4 this year, I need something very powerful, something that's going to make me wake up every morning and say, yes, I cannot wait to pay my bills, So that tells you that in setting goals, we need to understand that goals are powerful. That's number one. Number two, you are powerful. What you're doing with a goal is defining the future you want to create. And three, that a motivation, the why behind the goals you are setting, needs to be a powerful why that can inspire you, so that those actions you need to take to succeed in setting your goals, you will wake up every day inspired and looking forward to achieving, to carrying out those actions. We set goals traditionally, socially, we set goals once a year, my New Year's resolutions. And then at the end of the year, some people just go and say, oh, what were my New Year's resolutions again? Typically, time and time again, 6 weeks into the year, the New Year's resolutions have fallen away. And that's because the power, the need for consistency or purpose behind the goals has not been thought out. And if that hasn't been thought out, then how will those goals succeed? So that then leads to a vicious cycle where somebody may fail at goals. Then before you know it, they don't bother to set, and life is leaving them. There's this popular saying, my boss loves it. He says, the tail is wagging the dog. Yes, instead of the dog wagging the tail, it's possible to end up in a situation where life is living you. It's just happening instead of you living life. So those three key elements, your power, the power of your goal, the power of your motivation, are super important. Now, how do you set a goal that inspires you? I have a few suggestions. First thing is, let's change the perception of goals. In a lot of ways, so when we set resolutions, we think of them as our own and are a lot more casual about setting them. But when we talk about setting goals, we're setting them for the organization, we're setting them for work. We know that when we achieve, we will get great appraisals, we will maybe get a performance bonus and all those things. And so we focus that in more formal or structured environments. But I'd like us to have the perception that goals are about you. They're about your life. Remember, we talked about creating your future. Even achieving work targets, for instance, setting goals to achieve work targets. When you achieve those targets, what do? They lead you to a promotion. That may be what you desire. They lead you to a better income. They may lead you to a better job. It's about creating your future. So have that perception when you are setting a goal. I need to think about this beyond that end, beyond achieving that thing for the organization, beyond that outcome. Remember the earlier generic definition, the outcome. I need to think about this as a tool for creating my future. Then I would say, make your goals personal. This is a very deep point for me, because I want your goals to focus on what it makes of you as a person, rather than what you will get out of the goals, rather than on something that you will get out of the goals. I have a friend who says, he wrote a book, Honey, Why Are We Poor? And in the book, he said, the reward of an employee is not your salary. It is actually what you become through that process of employment. And that's so true, because one day the salary will stop. But whoever you have become lives with you through life. So you have to make sure whoever you have become is great. And it's similar here. Your goals should focus on what it will make of you as a person. Don't get me wrong. Nice things are nice. We deserve nice things. I like things. Look at my books behind me. I love things. But if things are my motivation, it's going to be difficult for them to motivate me consistently. If I want to get a G-Wagon, and I want to get a 2020 G-Wagon, for instance, and I'm working hard on it, and then in the middle of my working hard on it, I'm almost there, and the 2021 G-Wagon comes out, my motivation shifts, the potential for distraction comes in. But what about if my motivation is, rather than getting a G-Wagon, what about if my motivation is to become the kind of person who can get any kind of vehicle I want? You see, that satisfaction that goal has made me, because of the person I have become, I can get a G-Wagon. I can get a Volkswagen Beetle. I have created it for myself. I have also defined my success. And I have gone through a process that makes me that person. So that's actually the next point. Let your goal be process-oriented rather than result-oriented. Again, results follow a process. So if you have the right process, I'm sure a lot of us in the industry will know this. Your process is correct, your results will be correct. It's the same thing in life, in goal, and in pursuing your goals. And then I would also add one more thing and say, try to create for yourself a system or a set of principles you can apply in your daily living that if you are consistent with, will help you to achieve your goals. Now I'll explain that, or I'll use an example for that, for instance. Imagine someone who, we just talked about the person who wants to get the G-Wagon versus the person who wants to become the person who wants to be able to afford any car they want. Let's say I have a fitness goal. I want to be fit. I want to run a marathon this year. What am I going to do that will take me towards this? What system, what principles do I have for my life that will take me towards this? There's actually an example of someone who did that in real life. He wanted to run a marathon and he'd go to the gym in the morning. He was an Englishman, from the UK. He'd go to the gym in the morning. Then he'd have a full English breakfast every day. He'd have a Yorkshire pudding or something like that. He'd have a steak almost every day. And he wants to run a marathon. How is he going to get there? He has not aligned what he does in his daily life with his goal, with what he has, the future he wants to create. So it's taking those steps towards that future today. Now, if I want to run that marathon, I need to build in my practices. I need to build in vegetables. I need to build in things that will help me build muscle, things that will help me in endurance training. There's no endurance training with, that heavy meal. So already his goals, that person's goals on fitness and the lifestyle are not aligned. So those principles that you need will really help you. Okay? So I don't want to talk too much. I really said that I'd like us to do something. So I want us to practicalize this a bit. And please, if you have your pen and paper, let's try something. Let's try examples of setting goals which have a powerful why that drive us. Before we start though, bear in mind some of the things we've talked about. Remember, this is the moment where you are considering and creating a real future. Don't worry, you're not sharing this with us. It's totally private to you. So you can actually use this opportunity to really think of what you want, the future which can make a difference. So put your hearts and minds into this, right? Your goal must challenge you because remember, one of the powerful things about a goal is that it can make you grow, it can expand you. So let it be something that you aspire to so that you will grow. And it's okay, don't let something come to your mind and think, oh, I don't know how this will happen. I'm not even on that path. It's okay, write it first. After writing it, with your plan, you will begin to identify how it will happen. Okay? So if everyone's ready with their pens and papers, let's get going. And we're going to start with a general area of life, personal development. We'll try and do this in about 5 minutes. I hope that will be enough so we'll take just one area of life. So on your sheet of paper, this is the heading, it's personal development goal. Okay? And we're going to do this over a potential span of up to 10 years. So maybe what you want between now and the next 10 years, personal development. So you have a few minutes to think broadly and write out your goals. Writing your goals is also very important, know how the Bible says, I know very popularly, write the vision, make it plain. The Bible also says, without a vision, my people perish. So let's write the vision now. So what do you want in your life in terms of your personal development? Write it. Just spend the next 3-4 minutes just writing everything you can think of. You may need to go back to your dreams as a child. You may need to think of your dreams even now as an adult. Let's write it. What do you really, really want for yourself between now and 10 years to come? I'll just be talking, maybe throwing out a few prompts that might help you as you go along. So you can be writing about who you want to be. Even if it's something that will take years, don't forget, just write it down. Who would you like to become? What places would you like to go to? Would you like a particular job? Is there something in you, something you want to create? Are there skills or abilities that you'd like to learn? Or maybe you have some skills and abilities that you haven't even developed over time that you'd like to focus on. What about your emotional state? Do you like where you are emotionally? Do you think that you want to develop more emotional intelligence, be more open, be more vulnerable? A lot of us have that. I don't ask for help. I must be strong. Do you want to have a relationship where you can actually be emotionally vulnerable? Because it's okay sometimes to have someone else support you. Do you have social goals? Are there fears that you want to conquer? Is there anyone you would like to meet? Desmond Tutu? Barack Obama? Maybe even Donald Trump? Any awards you would really like to win? Something you want to be known for? Or do you want to learn another language? Or learn how to dance, maybe sing? Do you want to write a book? Are there character traits you want to develop or master? New career goals? What do you want to accomplish? Anything you want to do or be over the next 10 years, you can write it down. You can write books you want to read. You can write friends that you'd like to make. If you want to go on a holiday to a particular country, you can write it down. You can also write your spiritual goals. Would you like to start a company? Okay. So I'm going to leave you for 2 minutes with that list and just maybe keep writing. Although if you all get done earlier, just let me know. Okay. I'm hoping everyone has a robust list by now. Yes, 1 to 10 years, lots of dreams, lots of ambition, lots of things we're going to achieve, I see. Yes? Okay. The next step is go through your list and put a timeline on each item over the next 1 to 10 years. So if you want to achieve it in 1 year, put 1 year. If you want to achieve it in 5 years, put 5 years. Just let each item have its own timeline. Now, if you've done that with all your items, let's prioritize. Let's look at the items that have 1 year, okay? And select your top 2 or top 3 for 1 year. Just identify what your top 2 or top 3 that you really want to achieve in 1 year are. And then take those items and put each of them on a new page, on a page of its own. So if we have our top 2 or top 3 for 1 year goals, each of our top 2 or top 3 has its own page. Beside each goal, write a paragraph of 2 or 3 sentences of why you are absolutely committed. Remember, your goal setting is you are going to commit. Sorry, your goal is what you're going to commit to achieving. So let's write why you are committed to achieving that goal. Why must you achieve that goal this year? What's your why? You can also write it by asking yourself, if I don't achieve this thing, what will happen? What's the consequence to me? And make sure your why, remember your why has got to be one that inspires you. So write your why for each of those, top 2 or top 3 for this year. So you should be writing 2 or 3 whys on the same page where your that goal is. Okay, I'll give you a minute to also look at your why again. And if you look at that why and that why is not inspiring you, you need another why. You either need another why or you need another goal. So look at it. Can that why inspire you? I mean, this is your paper, this is your goal, right? So don't hesitate to pick another one from your list of goals. Okay. Now, I believe that before you have a strong goal. I wanted us to just be able to do this process so that it's something you can do on your own. Okay. What you have on the table, it's not the end of it. It's what you have in your books now, that's not the end. You may need to refine it. You definitely need to develop your action plan. Okay. But you have your foundation. And your action plan, when you're developing your action plan, it should include actions, of course, resources you need, people you may need to collaborate with. It should be, you know, if you're in construction, they'll say a level 4 project schedule. This is your future project schedule, or the project schedule of your future. Now, I also encourage that keep your goal before you constantly. One of the reasons resolutions fail is people set them and they don't even bother to look at it again. So I'm not even saying for this one, remember we talked about your daily, so you need to know what your goal is every day, but you also need to have developed those systems in your daily activities. Then you need to reflect on it time and time again. Don't reflect on it quarterly. No, that's not enough. It's not inspiring you if you're reflecting on it quarterly. Don't reflect on it even, once a month. Try at least every week, because the thing too is that we're human. You may need to be flexible. You may need to make some adjustments in how you're approaching things. Okay. So there's one more step I'd like us to take today on the goals that we've written. Write down one action that you're going to take. Today is Saturday. So let's say up to between today and Monday, and please take the action. One action towards achieving your goal that you will take between today and Monday. Write that for each of your goals. That's your quick win right there. And that's your commitment step. That's the first step you're taking from turning what is invisible, the goal, into what will be visible, your future. And after this session, I'd encourage you to sit down, completing this one with your action plan. Think about other aspects of life. We haven't talked about financial goals. You write your financial goals, write your fitness goals, write your thing goals, write your whys, why you're committed, write your action plans, and always remember that if the reason or the why behind your goals is not inspiring, think of another goal. Okay? Right. So I think my time is fast spent. So I don't want to, I hope this has been worthwhile. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Captain Omoran, I see you. Thank you. Captain Omoran was my Oga for a very long time. Nice to see you here. There is one model that I recommend. It's a bit different from the SMART model, although you will notice we've put time, we've specified our goals, we've put time, we're going to put an action plan. And with your daily activities, you're working on achieving it. It's called the OKRs, is Objective Key Results. Your objective is simply what you want to achieve. Key results is how. I'll give you a very quick example. My objective is to spend more time with my family. The key results, the how, maybe I come home, I get home early, I get home by 6 p.m., 5 times a week, 3 times a week. I have a movie night with my family every Friday. Objective, spend time with the family. Key results, the how. I love that model because it also breaks down your direct actions. I think it kills the SMART. It fulfills everything, but it's something that's in your face with daily, simple, direct actions that you can take. Okay? So that's essentially it. So remember, a quick summary for success. You need to develop goals which encompass an appreciation of what setting goals really means. The power within you when you're setting a goal, the power the goal has, and the need for a powerful motivation to inspire you to success. You need to bridge the gap between your goals and success by having a system or standards which you set for your daily living, which will align you with your goals. You need to keep your goals present before you every day. You've written them, always write them, yes. Reflect on them regularly, adjust where you need to. Now, as world travelers, I would like to presume that you guys know the story of Shahrazad, but it's one of my favorite stories in this kind of setting. And if you just give me maybe 2 more minutes, I'll tell you the story. It's one of these Arabian Nights stories, maybe 1,001 Nights or so. So the story goes, the king of whatever country he was king of, one of the Arabian countries, his wife cheated on him, the queen. So he decided that all women are the same, and he decided to marry a virgin every day and execute her the next morning so that she will not have the chance to cheat on him. So he started doing that, and after some time, there were no more virgins of noble blood in the land for him. The only 2 or so virgins left were the children of the chancellor, who had been the one procuring children of others for the king. So his daughter volunteered to go. He didn't like it, but she said she would go. And she determined she would keep alive. She set her goal. So she goes to the king, and the first night, she starts to tell him a story. And it's such a powerful story. The king is entranced, and and then she stops right in the middle. And he tells her to continue, but she tells him, no, it's time. Dawn is breaking. It's time for my execution. He spares her for another day. She continues the story, does the same thing the next day, the same thing the day after that, until 1,001 nights pass. By the end of which time, the king has fallen in love with her, and he's not going to kill her. Now, I love that story because her goal was to stay alive. That's enough motivation for anybody. It was a powerful why, you know. And it was a challenge, like taking that step, even going to the king who is killing everyone who comes to him in 24 hours or less, you're dead, was a challenging goal. She had a plan. She did it every day. So I like that story because I think there are a lot of parallels there. Okay, let me just see, with your kind permission, if there are any questions. I'd appreciate that. Okay. Oh, guys, thank you so much. I'm looking at lots of thank yous and nice comments. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and I'm honored. You guys are a really special elite group of people, and I'm happy to be amongst you. Okay, but I see no questions. Okay, thank you. If you need to reach me, please feel free. You can always reach me. My details are fully available on LinkedIn, on Instagram, lean on Lois. Yeah. All right, Connie, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Lois. Thank you. That was really, really good. I can put a price tag on that. Please, if anybody have any question to ask, this is the time. If you can just in the next 3 minutes or 5, if you can just have any question that you want to ask, either you can put it on the chat window or you raise your hands up using the reaction features, or you can, if your video is on, just raise your hands up. I can see. Okay, I can see Captain Moran's hands is up. Captain Prey hands is up. And okay, Godwin, Monday, Gaba will leave you for to handle this section, question and answers. Go ahead, Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Dr. Omori, and thank you, Louis, for a wonderful presentation. And it's been very educative and challenge at the same time. God setting has been a problem for a lot of us, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to at least practice one. I must confess that it's really practical. I never expected this to be this practical, but it is. Thank you very much for your time. So guys, this time is for question and answer session. If you have any question, just click on the reaction button and then you can raise your hand. And I have on the list, Captain Omori will go first, and then we'll follow by Captain Priye. Captain Omori, please, you have the floor now.
Please, can I be the last? Can I be the last? I always like being the last. Thank you, sir. I appeal.
Okay, sir. I'll be the last, sir. Captain Priye, you have the floor now, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. I mean, good morning, everyone. I think I do appreciate the speaker. She did very well, and my own is to give her a standing ovation. Nonetheless, the topic was very helpful, even though we are retired. but goal is still goal. So I thank the speaker very much. It's not really a question, but just to appreciate the way she presented the topic. Thank you. Did you get me?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Captain Priye. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Guys, you can ask the questions now. Just raise your hand or you can put it on the chat box.
Okay. Yeah, there's Ininjong and his up.
Okay, Neil, if you can hear me, please go ahead. I can see your hand now.
Okay. I just want to find out if they will make any provision for her to come out, like maybe half-year evaluation for us, because I think I've attended a lot of, I've had the opportunity to listen to a lot of goal setting, and this has been very, very different and very unique. So I wanted to just ask if there is any provision for her to maybe come back in the middle of the year to help us do some evaluation on the exercises that we've done this morning. Thank you very much.
If you like me, I'll come back. I'm very available and happy to do so. So just invite me. I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much. The support team, the teaching support team will take that on board. Ininjong, you can give your hands down. Just put your hands down, Ininjong, so that we don't have to call you again. Monday, I think we just go ahead. If there's no other question, let's go to Captain Moran.
Yeah, I think so. So Captain Moran, I think it's your time now, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, in a young hand was still up because as an Akwa man, you know, they said the king's hand can never be fallen. So he's a king. That's why he kept his hand there. Lois, this is beautiful. This is wonderful. Look, lady. Wow, some years back I wouldn't have seen you like this. This is the best I've ever had on goal setting. You know, so easy, very spiritual, so deep. You know, you've really gotten very deep. I mean, into the very fiber of what goal setting is all about. You know, the practical steps and the models which one needs to take. And so for me, just a little bit of adding, because you're being asked to come back, Lois. It's not like failing and being given a receipt, but it's more of, look, come back again. Let's see what we have done. Because you know, in actualizing these goals, the key thing is about discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. You can hear it from you, you can hear it from the Queen, you can hear it from everyone. But if we are not disciplined and focused on what the outcome is, we can never get there. So the key thing is about being disciplined, and of course, not likening this to New Year resolution. It's a popular joke that New Year resolution is usually forgotten by end of first month, or worst case, first week of February. So this is not about a New Year resolution. It's about goal setting for a better us, a better tomorrow. And I love it. I love it to pieces. I wish this is recorded and can be shared. And so I just want to appreciate you on behalf of everyone and say thank you very much for this practical lesson. In fact, I had goose bombs all over, and I'm going to go through my notes. I'm going to leave this live, and I will personally contact you in the next 6 months to tell you how far I've fared on this. So thank you very, very much, lady, and to Ahmadu for organizing this wonderful lecture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain Moran. I truly, you know, I've been saying I'm honored, and I've said that you would understand how amazing it is to really be here. Captain Moran was my boss some time back. We're in different organizations now, but it's a pleasure to be here, to be able to do this. It's a pleasure to see him and to contact other members of the community, the maritime community. So thank you, Ahmadu. Thank you, everyone. I wish everyone fair winds. I wish you success and a fantastic year and fantastic even future. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you very much. Guys, I shared on the chat box or Padlet. Just click on the link and you can add, if you have any comment you want to say, if you want to say hi to anybody, you want to comment on Louis' presentation, whatever you want to say, just click on the link and just add your comments, and we'll collect everything and we'll publish it later in the evening. Please click on the link. I just shared it. I'll share it again on the chat box. Click on it and you can add your comments. Thank you very much. Dr. Morris, you have the floor.
Right. Thank you very much, Monday, for that session. And I think I would like someone to, Suleiman, are you on board?
Yes, Suleiman is here. Suleiman is here.
Yeah. Please, I will just, before our guest speaker leaves us, I would just want you to just give. I know a lot of people have said thank you, but on behalf of the teaching support team, I want you to give a vote of thanks before we go into.
Hello, sir. Can I just barge in a little?
Okay.
Yeah. Is it possible for her to send us a link to this literature? You know, some of us like listening, some of us like reading. So it will be very good if she can send us a literature on this topic. Thank you.
I can do something and share it with Connie. She'll get it across. Okay.
All
right. Thank you very much.
So Suleiman, over to you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's been a wow, amazing, section, and everybody has been smiling sheepishly. The reason for that, I know it's not perfect. In fact, it's been a loaded section, and it's appreciation all the way. And so once again, Lois, in fact, I don't know how to thank you enough, because as you can see, everybody is, excited, and then this is an eye-opening section, and it came, on time. This is January. And so just to add again, this kind of thing is always going on in the offices. What about these poor sailors at sea? I'm only tuning out to just get, a glimpse of this, because I really wanted to. So I don't know if there's going to be a kind of section like this for sailors, because it is sailors that really need this goal-setting thing. You guys are in the office, you can always listen online, you can always see it on the TV, and you can always have one or two persons to talk to. But these sailors are just out there at sea, all work, no goal setting, no planning, and all of that. And so this section is worthwhile. And so I'm looking up, to the time maybe where we can have this kind of section again, strictly for sailors. And so on behalf of the teaching support group, I say thank you very much, Lois, and we will follow you on Instagram, Twitter, all of the handles that you have. We'll try to follow you and then to get more of this. I'm so grateful myself. I'm so happy myself, and I don't know what else to say. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and God bless you and each and everyone on this call. I can't say it enough. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, you are free to leave us if you want. So because we go into our internal affairs now. So guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We get in touch with you. So right. So thank you very everyone for making time. It's been as you can all say, it has been a very fantastic session, and that is how we wanted to start this year manual teaching support workshops, and we have to start with the setting a goal. So now we are now going to go on our town hall meeting. Now this session is actually we've all heard know about goal setting now. So this session that was like a kind of motivation, just to motivate us and take us into this session. And on this session, we're going to ask every members, that are here. So we want you to give us the teaching support team suggestions, how we can deliver workshop this year. What are your things in mind? What are your goals? And what is your aims? What do you want to? What are the things that you want us to do that will benefit you? What are the topics? What are the areas that we should go into? How can we organize the workshop to benefit all the members? So because this workshop that we are doing here is not for the team, the teaching support team, but we want this thing to benefit every members of Ahmadu and even outsiders. So the manual support team have had meetings. So we have our own things that we have identified, which we're going to share during this session. But we want the members to also contribute, say things, ask questions. If anything that you want to ask, this is the time. If anything we want to suggest, this is the time. Anything that we do feel that you can improve the delivery of this bi-weekly workshop, this is the time for you to just voice out, please. Monday or Connie, any member of the team, if you have anything that you want to add, you can add.
Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Mori, thank you very much for the introduction. So good afternoon, everyone. So we have look at this year, 2021. We really achieved a lot last year, but we feel we can do more this year. And we can reach out to ourselves, we can reach out to the outside maritime community and the outside world itself by doing events, leveraging on our experience of last year and doing an event whereby we will put Ahmadu in her right place within the industry. And we've had a very wonderful cooperation from, I would say, all the badges. Most especially, our appreciation is to the early badge of Maritime Academy. I mean the best dinosaur, if I might use that. You can see people like Captain Pri, Captain Omore, they are always here. They are forced to join the meeting all the time. It's kind of encouragement for us. We can pull this through. We can do something bigger. So we need people to come to give us input. We need your suggestion. How can we improve on delivering this workshop? So that's why we call for this town hall. It's an open mic discussion. If you have a comment, just raise your hand and we'll allow you to bring your suggestion on board. Thank you.
Cody, do you have anything to say to add before we give the floor to other people?
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone on the call, and really what a way to start the year. It's a promising year. It's a great year to recover from 2020. So please, we encourage your input to help us deliver for the year. Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like everyone is keeping quiet. It's a bit quiet. It's this interactive session. So okay, I will start with.
Okay.
Dr. Morris.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good morning to everyone here present. I will say it's a great honor to be a part of this team. Yes. In time past, I wasn't really coming up quite strongly, but I can tell you guys that this particular program, this training program, is one of the things that have really brought me closer to this great alumni. In which case I said, look, I'm not going to miss any lecture because I'll be a student for a lifetime. I'm a student forever. You know, the things we gain on this platform are things that people spend so much money to get. Although unfortunately we don't get certified or a COP being issued, but in terms of building up ourselves, because the greatest investment you can have, it's the investment in yourself. Investing in yourself is the greatest investment you can actually make in life. For me, I think suggestion-wise to improve our relationship would be more like this goal setting is wonderful. It's a knockout. At any point, at any day, I will give a thumbs up to it. But I just think that three other programs I think we need to look at: interpersonal skill, communication skill, and emotional intelligence. Because sometimes, one of the things that actually got me off from the platform was my earlier post in the platform that some guys came and was talking rough, and I was like, what is this? You know, up to now, once in a while, you still see some comments on our platform that are not, how do I say, that are not really, I don't like using the word respectful because people think it's about elderly and the younger, forgetting that even the younger ones also need to be respected. You know, like they say, it's respected. So it's the young respect the elderly respect the younger one. So if we do something on emotional intelligence, interpersonal skill, and communication skill, it will really help us, you know, to fine tune us to sift out that rough edges, you know, of from us, and then we will have a much more greater harmony on the platform and even the post. Because sometimes some things you need to post, you may even need to ask someone, hey, do you think I should post this there? Is it divisive? Is it going to break the group? Is it going to cause problem? Or is it going to build the group? So for me, that's the area, apart from the professional side, which is spot on. Let's look at those soft skill side to really polish our guys. And even on interview, how do we train our people on interview? I'm lucky, I know about interview because my wife used to lecture what they call the technical communication skill, which is preparing students, final year students on interviews. People don't know how to appear on interview panels. So we need to also train our people. In fact, we can even take it as an elective to the school to man around that for final year students, they'll just give us a slot, an hour or 2 hour slot to take them through. Because the guy may be so brilliant that when he gets to an interview, he will just fall like a pack of cards. One question is finished. You know, so that's the other aspect I think we should also look at, you know, what we can do to our members and even the ones, the final year students that are coming up, because those are also our potential members. So I think those are just the few things I want to say for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Captain Moran, for that input. Yes, we've noted. I believe all the teaching was manual teaching was support team. You're making note of, though the session is recorded, but try and make some key points. Yes, from Captain Moran, I have noted down that we need to include, look at areas like interpersonal skills, communication skills, emotional intelligence, and interview skills. So that will be taken on board. And also, most of these areas that we're talking about, if you know of anyone that is expert in those areas and that can actually give us a presentation in those things, please just reach out to the team, and then we'll be able to facilitate for that person to come and do the presentation. And if it is anybody that among us here that have the skill to was that presentation. So I've seen is up. Please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon.
Okay, Captain Pray. Okay, go ahead, Captain Pray.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do. I appreciate those that have, organizing this lecture series. And my only contribution now is that industry is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So we should also factor in how will somebody navigate through this industry? For the young ones that are coming up, how can they? What are the areas that they should look at? What other skills should they acquire? Come out from the school. What other skill? What other areas they can involve themselves so that they don't become frustrated? So I think we should factor in such a topic and look for somebody that can really have an inverse knowledge of the industry. Thank you.
Okay, can I come in, please?
Thank you very much, Captain Pri. That's been noted. Yes,
Hello?
Ambrose, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Morris. This is Ambrose. I want to appreciate you all for the team of Ahmadu support, the leadership of team, the Ahmadu support team. Thank you for your efforts throughout 2020, keeping the flag of this this organization going. Sometimes, like Captain Morris rightly said, sometimes on the platform, there are some comments that sometimes it doesn't make the platform interesting to remain or continue to read the content. So I agree with him that we should be thinking towards the direction of organizing some training to those who can reach. Of many of the guys on the Ahmadu General are not on this platform either. But to those who we can reach, if we have specialists who can join us in this platform to talk about those subjects, it will be very great. Next is a question. I have a very simple question. So this morning we talked about goal setting. We discussed goal setting at large. But a member of what do I stand to? What is my goal being a member of Ahmadu support? This is one question that I also like. Louis was saying we have to set our goal. To be more specific, I like this platform to think about what Ahmadu support team will achieve in the next 10 years. And then how do we go about it? This is my question. What will Ahmadu support team achieve in the next 10 years? Where are we going to? In the next 5 years, 10 years. Okay, we're going to achieve it. Dr. Morris, that is a very simple question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think it's a question that you want the group to go and work on and think about it, not giving answer now. I hope so.
Hello.
Yeah, because that is why we have this session. This interactive session is actually for us to all the contribution that we gather from all the members here will actually help the team to set up the goal for the Ahmadu teaching support for this workshop. So so we are really, that is why that's we also started with that goal setting. That was the more reason that we started with that goal setting presentation, and then follow up with this town hall meeting where we want all the members to put in contribute, so that all those contributions will be taken on board, and then we will set up our goal. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Morris, I agree completely with you. But the is to set time, or like another 4 weeks to bring all these ideas together to the Ahmadu platform and have them discussed.
Okay, noted.
Good afternoon, all.
We have please. I want to.
Good afternoon,
Netford, can you I will come back to you.
I can hear. All right, no problem.
Yeah, I want to just take it in the order that came in, so that people that raised their hands before. So can we have an Officer Nathaniel Adeleke, please?
No problem.
Can I just say something first? We are very busy.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Morris, for the privilege, to share my thoughts and all protocols observed. Very quickly, I'll start to say that the session we had this morning, for me, is a blockbuster. Very, very timely and needed. In addition to that, I'll keep it short, straight, and simple. In addition to that, Captain Morris Sunday actually captured my thoughts. And I just felt, just to add to a few things that he said. Leadership skills is still important. I knew we started it at the academy, but it doesn't end. It continues. Some of people are beginning to take more leadership role in their places of work, their homes, and other spheres of life. So I also believe if we can have sessions on that, to hone our leadership skills as well. In addition, also to consider, some, if possible, people can, begin to not just in the area of taking up businesses to run a successful business as well. Those will be added skills, that would help us, to be successful. So everything Captain Morris said and all other, people that have contributed, are aligned with us. And if we can add these soft skills as well, everything he made mention about soft skills, if we can add some of this to it as well, it will help us, because our foundation, really, what we have spent most of our time on is technical, skills that we've developed, being a marine engineer, being a captain of a vessel, working towards that. And, in the environment where we are, it's large, but if we are not careful, we can narrow ourselves, to just a small area. But with these other skills, that we may benefit from, it will, enlarge our course, it will brighten, give us a wider horizon. So that's it for me this morning. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nathaniel, for that input. Is it Bello back because he was on board? I think he was a bit busy and wanted to contribute. Let me see. Okay. Nathaniel, please, can you keep your hands down so that we don't make mistake to. Okay, Abel, go ahead. I know you're on board and you are busy. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mama. I just want to quickly draw our attention based on the current COVID incidents in the whole world. Seafarers are beginning to have these mandatory conditions to sign in questionnaires about this vaccine. What I just want the House to know is to be able to guide seafarers. Is it safe for us to take these vaccines or not? Seafarers internationally are being subjected to taking these vaccines, which we need to know if it is safe to take these vaccines or not. That's just what I want to quickly throw in the House, and goodbye. I have to go for now.
Okay, Abel, just point of correction. One, I'm not the president. We have the president in the House, which would say something later on. So I'm not the president of Ahmadu. Secondly, concerning the issue of taking vaccination, I think that is personal decision. What we can do is maybe to bring in somebody that can maybe give us advice on talk about the COVID situation in the world. That is going on in the world now, and also maybe the issue of vaccination board. I don't think anybody will actually tell you take vaccination or don't take vaccination. That is personal decision to make. Okay. because we don't want to put ourselves in going against the government rule or anything or somebody application. So taking vaccination is personal decision.
Okay, thank you.
Please, we have okay. Nedford, are you there? You see,
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yes, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to have this platform and to learn, to also be able to contribute. I want to thank Lois for the good job she did on the topic. And I pray that we all will take advantage of it to improve our lives in the year 2021. Well, I also want to commend Abel, though at a point I could not hear what he was saying. But I know he made mention of the COVID-19, the pandemic, and I will take a cue from there. My interest is on the mental health of seafarers. Throughout the period of the COVID, I was privileged to talk with some seafarers who were on board, and for the greater part of the time, they were just there. And my desire for Ahmadu is to see that we organize seminar to debrief most of all, if possible, seafarers amongst us, particularly those that are married and will definitely go and join their families. They need some kind of debriefing in order to help them, with their mental state of health. And I think in the year 2021, if we look through that, it will go a long way in helping them to function very well in the society and wherever they are working. It happens in the Western world, but I don't think it happens in Nigeria. I know of one organization only, I think Mission to Seafarers, that offers that. But I don't know to how many people or how many people within our alma mater, our alumni have benefited. So I want the admin and
I can't be here. What's going on?
Okay, Nenford, I think it's like we've lost you. I don't know if you're on board. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me.
The ESCO this year to look through this and brief it.
Yeah, careful. Get me. Just do half.
I think we've lost Nenford. Okay, I will come. Let's wait until when he comes back, because there's something that I would like to say on concerning the seafarers. It's a very serious issue, and it's something that we, as an organization and the teaching support team, have to support them. But I will say something about that later on, and then we can all give our suggestion. Okay, I will go to Akan. Akan, the floor is yours.
Excuse me. Good morning. Thank you, Morris. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Right. So I'd like to say a few things, but first of all, thanks to the teaching support. The reason I wake up very early to join is because I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about knowledge. I'm passionate about expanding what we know. So yes, thank you for the teaching support, and I can't say enough good things. So first, let's start with the time. As you all know, some of us live across the pond, and the time difference makes it very tough for some people to join. And I would maybe throw it out there, if it's possible for the teaching support to maybe accommodate people across the pond, that would be helpful. With the time difference, today was very tough. I had to get a lot of motivation. I set that goal, and I think I achieved it to join. The other thing I want to talk about time is if a few times I've joined, not a few times, all the times I've joined, I've noticed that we don't keep to the scheduled time. If we say we're going to start at, say, 11 o'clock, if we don't start at 11, some people might find that to be a waste of their time. I remember there was a captain that joined one time from Australia, and we were in about 10 minutes and no one said anything. And he kept asking, what are we waiting on? I don't think he returned since then. So we've lost one person, and that was his first time joining the meeting. So I think time, someone mentioned discipline. I think Captain Omorin talked about discipline. So the discipline, I think, would be a good thing to incorporate. Even if we have two people, we just get going. And if someone comes in late, that's their problem. And also keep to this end of schedule. So some sort of agenda saying this is what we're doing. I know we're doing that, but I'm just maybe bringing that up again. All right, that's, one thing on procedure. So I don't know if you have a plan of having a library where some of these topics that we talk about can be accessed by members. It could be an online library, but somewhere where people can access it. As far as topics, I agree with many of the comments on, the soft skills, emotional intelligence, and those are very good. But on the technical side, I'm thinking, for example, what does it take to start a shipping company in Nigeria? Where do you need to register? What sort of licenses do you need? Who do you need to talk to? Is there a roadmap? If I had an interest, how do I get that information? Because there are people that might just come to Ahmadu to get that information because they know you have it. That's one thing. The other thing is, for example, what are the opportunities for people at Maritime Academy of Nigeria, or even not just Maritime Academy? What are the avenues? If you finish there, what can you do? In this forum, I know there are many of us, we're doing so many things. Is there a catalog of a roadmap? So such teachings could be helpful. And in terms of the overall African context, what's the future? What is the future? What industry are we looking at? So I think teaching people on, not misinformation, but just giving them the right tools, I think that's a good thing. And I'll be happy to be a part of that, because I know with knowledge, we can go very far. I think it was Nelson Mandela that said, the greatest weapon against poverty or any problem is education. So education can solve many of the problems that we have. I'm fortunate to be where I am, and I know a lot of things that have been accomplished is done through education and through consistent messaging. So we don't shift from one message to another. And I think this platform can do a lot of things by being very consistent in what we do. I think I've taken so much time. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Young, and thank you for that wonderful contribution. So we've all taken that on board, and I know somebody like you, that we can work, the team can work together with you to achieve some of these things that you've mentioned. Thank you a lot. Who else hands is up? I've not seen. Bagai, I thought your hands was up before. Okay, yeah, Bagai, yes, your hand is up. Go ahead, so Bagai. Bagai, we are struggling to hear you. We can't hear you at all. I don't know if others do.
Can you hear me?
Not really.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh, I have no problem. So then just the salvation is back to.
We cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I don't know if others can hear you. If you are struggling to talk because of network, can you just type your this on the chat window? You know, if it is a question or solution, anything that you have. If it's look, we are struggling to hear you. Okay, I think while we are waiting for Bagai, I just because I see that people are dropping up and we talk about time, so we have to wrap up this this session so that people can have the rest of the day for their private things. I just want to give a brief, just a short live experience concerning workshop like this. We've discussed this in the teaching support team, and we've discovered that many people, if you just look at the people that are on this platform today, and you look at their batches, and also you see that it's either the old batches and the other somehow there's people of old batches are more people that are in this workshop, and you don't tend to see our young batches, these young people, the latest batches ex-cadet. They are not here, and we don't know the reason. So it's something that really bothered me, because actually, to be honest with you, I make sacrifices for this workshop, because it's actually because of our ex-cadet, and especially the young ones, because I feel that they can benefit something from this workshop. It could be anything. It's in a channel that they can do network. They can see people, they know people that they've not known before, or something that people that have been hearing. Somebody can say something that maybe the person is interested in that area, and then he can contact that person, and they can build relationship. So, and I want to give a life story, and this is my own personal life. I am where I am now because of just one step that I took to attend Imare's seminar. That Imare's lecture is done every month here in Liverpool, Liverpool John Moores University. So when I came into Liverpool, 2002, and I was in Liverpool John Moores, so they will announce the thing on the students, put it on, send it through the email. All the students in the mechanical and marine engineering department and nautical science, they would receive the email about Imare's lecture. So I attended that lectures, and one blessed day, one man came from Shell to do presentation on just a lifeboat restoration. And I went there, and after the man finished presentation, he was even saying that he is looking for students who can do come and take the project as their final year project, get involved in that lifeboat restoration as their final year project. And you know, coming in as somebody that been in the environment newly, I didn't even know, but I after the lectures, I just went to the man, collected his complimentary card, and I told him that I would be interested. So he said, give me a call anytime. So one weekend, I gave the man a call, and myself and one of my colleagues here, we traveled down about 1 hour drive to where that boatyard is. We went there and we started working there on that lifeboat restoration. So working on that thing just voluntarily, and the man was just giving us lunch. When we got there, it was just a lunch. Now, through working on that boat, we formed a relationship with that man. And when an opportunity came, and don't forget, when we only went there just for us to have practical knowledge and all that. But for me, being that I was on board before, I just wanted something to hands-on job, because I like put an hands-on job a lot. So but that thing actually generated to something that I never even thought of in my career life. That man, because he saw the way we were doing work there, very devoted and commitment, in our job, opportunity came out from Shell. And that is how the man just came through on one Saturday. Oh, Morris, and there's this opportunity in Shell, would you be interested? And I'm why not? And that is how I got to enter Shell and work up till today. So that is, when I think back, if I did not go for that seminar, to that lectures, committed to going on that lectures, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. So that is one thing that some people, because some of these young guys, they might feel, oh, what am I going to be sitting down for 1 hour or more than 1 hour? What am I going to gain? There's a lot of things that we can gain. A lot of people, it might not be the job that I had opportunity to have a job there, but there's somebody can speak, you can hear something that can actually motivate you or change your perspective in life. And then you go and action on that thing, and it changes your life completely. So that is what I just want to the experience that I said, that having this workshop is not something that is just we are just coming to waste our time. It could be benefit to one person in one way or the other. Thank you. Bagai, please, if you are in now, you can make your contribution. Make it snappy so that we can round up, please.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a bit clear now.
Yeah. You can hear you, Bagai. I think this is your life jacket. Maybe it's affecting the voice also,
All right. I want to make foremost is initial. Our main concept was can give back to oral by way of teaching support. However, due to certain constraints, we were unable to exert. But be as it is good that we are doing it in this manner, whereby
we've lost Bagai. Okay, I think we don't want to really waste much time again. So what as a teaching support team, we had a meeting and we've come up with some ideas. In fact, some of the things that you people are mentioned is very, very brilliant, and some of the things we did not even think about it. But some of them are the things that we have actually discussed and thought that we will include it this year. And most of the things that this year we really want to we don't want to narrow ourselves to only maritime or marine or maritime industry. So we wanted that if you know anybody that can do presentation on any areas at all, because we want to have knowledge of everything around us. So whether it is nuclear, and when we come at, when we actually think about it, maritime is actually got across every industry. If you talk about nuclear, you find maritime. In IT, IT is there in maritime. So so we are in the industry that actually every other industry depends on us. So for that, it's good for us to really have knowledge of other things. So that was one of the areas that we feel that we're gonna at least diversify this year, have a presentation from other sectors, and see how that can relate to benefit for everyone, because we find out that a lot of ex-cadets, some of them have gone into other things, not only maritime. So we want this thing to kind of benefit everybody, whether you're in maritime, still in the maritime sector or not. We want the session to benefit everyone. So we've come up with a timetable, which I will share this in the group. So we have the timetable for the year, and each month we want to do like in the kind of industry engagement each month. So like sorry, quarterly. So every quarter we want to have industry engagement. And what that means is that we try to see how we can bring in our stakeholders, industry stakeholders, and have like a kind of discussion on a certain topic. And so that will actually help us achieve a lot of things in terms of Ahmadu, project the image of Ahmadu with the industry, form a relationship with the stakeholders. So we can invite people from NIMASA, Ministry of Transport, Shippers Council, NPA, anybody in the industry at all, so that they can come and we have a lack of engagement on that session. So that is what we have planned. That if we can achieve that quarterly, that is a goal that we've set for ourselves. And we will want every hand to be on deck to help us to achieve this for the benefit of every one of us here and the organization. So Monday and Connie and Suleiman, I don't know if there's any other thing that I've missed out there that you want to add to share with the people.
No, I would say you said it all. I just want to emphasize on the industry engagement, and we're looking at something big, and that day we expect us, Ahmadu, to be the host. So yeah, so we should watch out for that. Very soon we're going to announce an event coming up for the first quarter of this year. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, my guy has mentioned about CV writing, that we also need to talk on CV writing. So yes, that is very important. We'll take that on board. Okay, so in the absence of any other thing, unless if anybody have anything to say, just 1 minute. But if not, then I don't know if the president is still on the floor. President, it's our tradition that in a session like this, at least we give president opportunity to say 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I think he.
I thought he's the one with the alumni. Who is logging on with this alumni?
Yeah, so the alumni, we now have a secretary. So the secretary is joining the meeting so that you could take minutes and align the agenda to the overall Ahmadu NEC agenda. So the secretary, we now have secretary. If you look at previous days, we've been able to resolve a lot of issues that has to do with membership, email address, people that are not that don't have registration numbers, and people that did not receive links. So all this is because we have a dedicated secretary that handles all that job now. So the secretariat is functional now and is quite busy. And our secretary, her name is Victoria. So she's here today with us, and she will be When you call the number, she will be there to pick your call. If you drop an email, she'll be there to respond to your email. We've dedicated our energy to see that we resolve all issues as soon as we get them. So within today, I'm going to share a link, which is a complaint link. So if you have any complaint about anything about Ahmadu, about your registration number, about your email address, about spellings, or any issue you want to raise with NEC, you could just click on that link and you can type in your complaint, and then we can see it from our side and we respond to it as soon as possible. So just for the information of the House, we have a functional secretariat now, and we are ready to provide the services needed for all members. Thank you very much, Mr. Morris.
Thank you, the General Secretary, for that announcement. And okay, so Bagai, we've taken note of your comment on the chat box. Thank you very much for dropping that comment. So in the absence of any other thing, I think we just said that we call it a day. And thank you everyone for all your time. I think today we've made a very remarkable turnout of 36. That was the largest numbers that we had, 36 today, which is really good. And thanks everyone for all your time. I'm sorry that we've pushed ahead, kind of go above the time limit that we set to finish this meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Wish you all a good weekend.
Okay, thank you. Wish you all the best this year.
Bye-bye.
All the best for our members. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Okay, bye, everyone.